So, ladies and gentlemen, politics. Career in politics. Well, first of all, when we are looking at political career astrologically, okay, the first thing we want to ask, why do you want to be a politician? Okay, that's the first thing you want to ask, or at least ask yourself as the astrologer. Why does this one person wants to become a politician? Do they want to become politician to gain power? Do they want to become a politician to make a difference in society? Do they want to become a politician for fame and money? Or is it all three, or is it two? Because politician or politics itself, you have to understand, is quite a corrupt business. Okay? It's quite a corrupt business. I mean, there's no such thing as an honest politician. I don't care who you pick. There's no such things. So the very first thing astrologically we will look at, does this person have any inclination towards being selfish? Not necessarily corrupt, selfish. Because what is politics? Ask yourself this question, what is politics? And leave that in the comment below before I tell you what politics is. What is politics? I'm the professor, you're the student. Well, politics simply means who gets what, where, when, and how much. That's politics. So your job as a politician is to decide who gets what, where, when, and how much. And none of these things come with simple, honest negotiation. There's always going to be corruption, regardless of what you see of a person's image on a television, magazine, newspaper, or some article. There's always going to be something. So that's the one thing that we see. But to see if you will succeed in political field, it is actually one of the most easiest thing. Out of all the careers, seeing a career in politics is a very easy thing. And I'll show you that today. And one of the things that I will discuss today regarding this easy method requires a little bit of knowledge too. And I'll give you this knowledge as much as I can here in this video. But I've actually made a video for people on my website under the shop section about a method known as Ashtaka. I think, did I take it off and I merged it in with the Charadasha reading? So I've actually made a video on showing you this one particular thing known as Ashtaka, and which is like within 40 minutes you'll know the most complicated system of Ashtaka. So that's something you should know. And the second is I'm going to describe you in my light board. And as long as you have these things set, that is the strongest foundation to become a politician and to win. Okay. So as always, if you do not know what your horoscope is, what your planetary alignments are, especially your Ashtaka alignments, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction, and Aspects at the Speed of Light, including all my readings here. So let's go to our board and talk about the political career in the most simplest form you'll hear. Maybe not. Let's go. So, you want to be a politician, eh? I'll show you how to be a politician. So, if you know basics of astrology, you gotta know some fundamentals and basic of astrology, meaning what a house means, what the signs means, you know, what the planet stands for. That's what you need to know. And once you know that, this process will become very easy. So, first of all, when it comes to politics, political career, the most important thing is Raj Yogas. If you don't have Raj Yogas, you cannot be in politics. Regardless of if you just want to be a senator, if you want to be a congressman, or if you want to be a prime minister, president, without Raj Yogas, you cannot accomplish this feat. So Raj Yoga is important. But what kind of Raj Yogas? Not Parashar Raj Yogas. Don't even rely on those. Okay, we're going to talk about different type of Raj Yogas here. What are those Raj Yogas? So the Raj Yoga we're going to talk about is Jaimani Raj Yoga. How do you look at a Jaimani Raj Yoga? The way you look at a Jaimani Raj Yoga is you got to know about the 7 karakas, meaning the 7 sthira karaka, the movable karakas, meaning the significance of a planet based on its degree. And it's nothing complicated. You just got to know which planet has the highest degree, which planet has the lowest degree. That's it. And this is a 7 planetary karaka scheme, meaning the only planets that are involved in this is Sun, Moon, Mars, Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, Saturn. That's it. No need to worry about Rahu and Ketu. So, if a planet, as you know, a zodiac sign is 30 degrees long. So imagine it's 30 feet long. Okay, so let me actually draw that for you here. So this is a zodiac sign, and it is 30 feet long, okay? In case you don't know anything about degrees and whatnot. This is 30 feet long. This is 0.1. This is 0.30th. That's all you need to know. Now you can fill in the blanks. What are the 7 planets that are described in the scheme? I said the Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's it. You gotta focus these planets. So if we have a zodiac sign which is 30 degrees or 30 feet long in the sky, and let's say Sun, we'll put Sun at 15 degrees, okay? 15 feet. Because I know sometimes degree for beginners don't really understand. Moon is at 10 feet of distance. Mars is at 5 feet. Mercury is at 23 feet. Jupiter is at 7 feet. Venus is at 18 feet. And Saturn is at 28 feet. That means we'll put them in here. So remember, this is 1, this is 30th. Which is the planet with the highest feet? It's Saturn, right? So Saturn is right there at 28 feet. This is Saturn. Then, which is the second one close to the 30th point? It's Mercury. Mercury is at 23rd point. So we'll put Mercury here. This is Mercury. Who's next? Venus at 18. So we'll put Venus here. Okay? Then the next one is Sun. Sun is at 15. So this is Sun at 15 feet, right in the middle. Then after Sun becomes Moon at 10 feet. This is Moon. Then we will look at the next one. Which one is the next one with the least amount of feet given here in the scheme? That would be Jupiter, right? Yep, Jupiter. So Jupiter is at 7 feet. Then the last one is Mars with 5 feet, right there. So between 1 and 30 feet, or 1 and 30 degrees, Saturn is the highest, closest to the 30-degree point, 30 feet long point of the zodiac sign. Okay? That means Sun becomes the Atma Karka. Then, which one was the second? Mercury. Mercury had the second highest feet. Mercury becomes the Amatya Karka. The third one was Venus. Becomes Bhatri Karka. Which one is number 4? Sun. Becomes Matri Karka. Then after Sun, which one is the next? Moon. Becomes Putra Karka. Then after Moon, which one is next? Jupiter. Ghatani Karka. Then which one is the last one? Mars. Right there, the last one. The one with the lowest points in the 30. It's Dharakarka. So this is something you gotta know. In the scheme of politics, Raj Yogas, is which planet is closest to that 30th degree point? That planet becomes the Atmakarka. So that is the first in line. Then Amatya Karka is second in line. Bhatri Karka is third in line. Matri Karka is fourth in line. Putra Karka is fifth in line. Ghatani Karka is sixth in line. Dhara Karka is seventh in line. This is known as karakas, sthira karka, movable karakas, because in one horoscope, Sun might be Matri Karka. In another horoscope, Sun might be Atma Karka. And all this represents Atma Karka is your first house. First house matter. Amatya Karka is your second house matters. Bhatri Karka is third house matters. Matri Karka is fourth house matters. Putra Karka is fifth house. Jupiter, or I'm sorry, Ghatani Karka is 6th house matters, Dhara Karka is 7th house matters. So what happens to the other house schemes? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, same thing. Amatya Karka represents the first house. Okay. Second house, which is Amatya Karka, represents 2 and 10 scheme. Then number 3, which is Bhatri Karka, represents 3rd house and 9th house schemes. Matri Karka represents 4th house and Matri Karka just represents 4th house schemes. Putra Karka represents 5th and 11th house schemes. Ghatani Karka represents 6th and 12th house schemes. And Dhara Karka represents the 7th house schemes only. So you see how this works. Very simple. So when you look in your horoscope, okay, and this is all based on sidereal calculations. Sidereal Vedic calculations, not for me. I don't know which one you follow, but for me, I'm talking about these in sidereal Vedic form. Okay? So you got to know these schemes. Now let's move on to the next part to show you about Raj Yogas. So to be a politician, you got to know those 7 karakas I just described. So in your chart, either you should have aspect or conjunction. Aspect or conjunction of Amatya Karka plus Atma Karka. We'll name Amatya Karka AMK. Okay, so I'm just going to use AMK. AMK plus DK. Dhara Karka. Remember Dhara Karka? AMK plus fifth lord. Okay. Then, and we'll call Atma Karka AK, the planet closest to that 30-degree point, right? So AK plus DK. AK plus fifth lord. Moon plus Venus. These are the combinations you must have in your birth chart. Then also the other one I forgot to mention, Atma Karka plus Putra Karka, PK, Putra Karka. And Atma, this is Amatya Karka plus Putra Karka, and Atma Karka plus Putra Karka. So if you don't understand the things again, go back into the video, rewind. Okay, it's going to take some time to rewind in the VCR, but just rewind so you can see it. These are the combinations you must have to be a politician. Number one, this is step one. And the more you have these, the better it is in the main birth chart, the D1 chart. So if let's say in your birth chart you have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these combinations, excellent. You have Amatya Karka plus Atma Karka either conjunct or looking at each other. through Jaimini aspects, which is Rashi aspects. This is why I said you should know about Jaimini. And if you don't, go learn from Mark Boney. It'll make your entire astrological life easier. So in your D1, you have these Raj Yogas. These are known as Raj Yogas. Most important thing, forget the Parashara Raj Yogas, where Kendra Lord is in Trikon, Trikon plus Kendra Lord, okay? That has all sorts of fine-tuned contract written in those Raj Yogas. Well, this Raj Yoga will work if this has happened. If, let's say, from Saturn is 8th from your Raj Yoga, it'll defunct the Raj Yoga. In Jaimini, it's very simple, regardless of where Saturn is. So now you see that this person, let's say you, have 1, 2, 3, 4 Raj Yogas. You got your Matyakarka plus Atmakarka, you got a Matyakarka plus Dharakarka, you got a Atmakarka plus 5th Lord, you got Atmakarka plus Putrakarka. So you got these 4 Raj Yogas. Beautiful, excellent. Now comes the real deal. Look and see how many of these Raj Yogas you have in your D9. Okay? Navamsha. Very, very important chart when it comes to Jaimini. See how many you have. Do you still have in D9 4, or do they get reduced to 2 only? And this may matter. The more the merrier. You heard that term. More the merrier. So if you have 4 Raj Yogas in the birth chart, but you only 2 Raj Yogas, it's still good, but it's no longer that strength of the birth chart we just saw. So now we see, okay, this person has only 2 Raj Yogas. This person only has in the Navamsha, they have their Atmakarka plus 5th Lord, and they, let's say, have Amatyakarka plus Putrakarka. Let's say you have these 2 forming. So it's only 2 Raj Yogas. It's good, okay? But what if the opponent, the person that you are running against, has 2 Raj Yogas. This is your opponent I'm talking about. Your opponent has 2 Raj Yogas in the D1 chart. Okay. So has 2 Raj Yoga in the D1 chart scheme. But in the Navamsha, they have 4 Raj Yogas. Guess who is in advantage? It is your opponent whose Navamsha chart becomes more stronger than yours. Just by the scheme of this. That's it. Just by the scheme of this. How many Raj Yogas you have? And this is nothing to do with if you're in IT, if you are in filmmaking, if you want to be a beautician, if you want to be, CEO of a company. No, this is not going to matter as much. But when it comes to politics, you bet it's going to matter. You bet your bottom dollar, you bet your round apple ass it's going to matter. How many Raj Yoga go into your Navamsha is the main scheme of the Raj Yogas. Okay? So are we good with Raj Yogas? Bueller? Are we good with Raj Yogas? Okay. Now go take your day off. Now we're going to discuss another scheme. Okay, so there's only 2 schemes to political career. This is one. So guys, here comes the second thing. Which planets are the main significator of politics. And actually, before I go further into this, see, now that I have officially, learned and learning Gemini from Mark Boni, I always now have to give that salute to my Gemini guru, Mark Boni, without whom I would not have understood this so simply, so beautifully. So he is one of the best Gemini astrology teacher ever, second to KRSchannel Rao. Okay? Because he's the best student of KRSchannel Rao. So I'm learning from the best. So which planets are responsible for politics? Number 1. Can you guess which one is number 1? Anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Oh no, he took the day off, so he's gone. Number 1 planet is Saturn. Whoops. Okay, S-A-T. Saturn. Number 1 planet. Okay? Second. Which one is second? It's the daddy, Sun. Saturn and Sun. Just 2 planets you need to worry about, mainly. Let's not make this complicated with Moon, Venus, Mars. Okay? Let's not make it complicated. So Sun and Saturn are 2 big planets for politics. Why is Saturn the number 1 planet for politics? Well, like my Gemini teacher Mark Boni says, Saturn represents a beggar in Vedic astrology. Okay? It represents beggar, poor people. And I know this sounds like a very derogatory term, but I'm just saying whatever the astrological text says. But what is the job of a politician? Is to go out and beg for votes, right? Vote for me, please, please, I need your vote. I need everybody's vote here, everybody. So I can start taking bribes and money from the big people. I need everybody votes. So he's begging. So Saturn is number 1. Number 2 is Sun. Sun is what? What are you doing as a politician? You're working with the government. You're working within the government. So Sun is number 2, and that's it. Now comes the beautiful part. This is equally important. I don't know which one would be more important, to be telling you the truth. I don't know which one would be important. This method that I'm showing you or the Raj Yoga method. You know what? This is number 1. I would say this method is number 1 method first for determining are you going to be a politician or not before you even go into Raj Yogas. So, there's a scheme in astrology known as Ashtaka. I don't know if I spelled it right or wrong. I don't really care. Ashtaka, where a planet gives itself, wherever it sits in your horoscope in the D1 chart, and all the houses around it, it distributes points. So if let's say I am here as Saturn, and my room, this studio is the birth chart, first, wherever I'm sitting, I'm going to give myself certain points. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give each section in my room, because let's say my room has 12 sections, like the 12 houses of astrology. I'm going to give each section in my room a certain value based on my perception of this room. It's like I'm being a judge, like a dunk contest judge. And the maximum you can give to a dunker, me as a judge sitting here, is maximum 8 points. And the lowest I can give is 0. So this is the scheme that I'm working with. So wherever I'm sitting, I'm going to give a certain point here. I'm going to give certain point to the next section, the next, the next, the next. What you need to worry about in politics with Saturn is that 6th and 11th house from Saturn. I don't care where your Saturn is. Your Saturn could be in the 6th house, 12th house, 1st house, 2nd house, 4th house, 10th house. 6th and 10th from Saturn should receive above 5 points. Or actually, I'm sorry, not 5 points. Should receive above 4 points. Because Saturn gives very low points in this Ashtaka Varga scheme. And again, if you do not understand this Ashtaka Varga, I have a video on my website in the option section. Either it's called Charadasha reading, where I give you the free video, or I think I deactivated the Ashtaka Varga reading, but I'll activate it again so you can just get the video and watch it. So Saturn should have anywhere from 4 to 7 points where it sits. And so where it sits, the 1st house, 6th and 11th, especially 6th and 11th being the important houses. The other thing that becomes important for Saturn is something called Sarvashtaka Varga. Whatever, Sarvashtaka Varga. This is wherever I'm sitting, okay? Wherever I sit, I'm giving myself certain points. But guess what? Some other planet is sitting across the room giving themselves a certain point, and where I'm sitting a certain point. So all 7 planets will give this one particular spot where I'm sitting certain points. So the accumulation of all the 7 planets, the points known as Sarvashtaka Varga. So when we come to the scheme of this Saturn's position of 6th and 11th, the higher the points, the more successful you're going to be. And especially in politics and charts of politician, between 31 all the way up to like literally 48. Anywhere you just get 31 to 48 points, 6th from Saturn and 11th from Saturn, first of all ensures that, okay, this person can beg for votes, 6th house, and get achievements, 11th house. Because if Saturn is a beggar, we want to see how much can it gain through begging, which is the 6th house. And what desire and achievements will this Saturn receive when the beggar gets that money that is begging for? How much can it accumulate? Is it sufficient enough? So if the total, which is in the astrology report that I give you from option 6 all the way above, okay, or option 5, 6 all the way above, there's a Ashtaka Varga section. So Sarvashtaka Varga shows accumulated point. Like for example, I'll make it easier. So for example, let's say you have Saturn in the 1st house, okay? This is the ascendant. Saturn is in the 1st house. 11th house, this is the 11th house, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are the houses. So 11th from Saturn, the accumulation Sarvashtaka Varga, let's say, is 34. And 6th from Saturn is 30. When I'm looking at a chart, when someone asks me, can I be a politician? I see the fact, wow, he's receiving high points here. Okay, I'm going to go to the next point now. This becomes the very first point, Saturn. Before even Raj Yogas, First, I'll look at, are you capable of getting votes? And are you capable of having achievements? 11th house is achievements. Then I'm going to look that 0 to 8 point scheme, even though I know Saturn does not give 8 points. But I want to see where Saturn sits. How many points is it giving? In Binashtak Varga. So let's say Saturn gives 4 points, or let's say 5 points. Oh, beautiful. Rarely I've ever seen Saturn receiving 5 points where it says. But that kind of like ensures me even more that this person is going to do well in politics. Then I look at the other planet. Okay. Oh, that looks ugly, man. I just messed up, my. So let's say Sun. Sun is the government. I want to see 6th from the Sun and 11th from the Sun. 6th house is not just the house of begging. It is the house of service. Are you willing to serve the king, the government? And are you able to get achievements through the king? So now with Sun, I want to see how many points you get. So let's say from Sun, you get 38 points. 11th from itself, which shows that through government, you can have great achievements. And service, I see 29. It's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. It's above average. Average is 28. Anything below 28 is weak. Above 28 is strong. And this is what the two things I want to know in political career. First, does your Saturn receives high Ashtaka Varga points? Especially the accumulation. Sarvashtaka Varga. Then I want to see that the Sun receives high points, 11th from itself and 6th from itself. Then I move on and I see, okay, this person has Raj Yogas. Okay. So once you have this, let's say you have excellent points, 11th and 6th from Saturn and Sun, but you have barely any Raj Yogas in your horoscope, then that also defunks that idea of somebody going into politics. Because you got to have Raj, Gaddi, sitting on a throne. So it's like they go hand in hand. But the very first hand is that Ashtaka Varga. Second is the Raj Yogas. And obviously debilitation and exaltation of the planets become very important in D9 chart. So in D9 especially, pay attention to exaltation, debilitation. That does not mean you will not be successful in life. Again, don't think that way. This is simply for politics. And believe me, there are many, many more important things you can do in life to better the lives of people than going into politics. That's my first thing for you. So look for that. In the birth chart, if you have, let's say, Sun here, debilitated. Well, okay, fine. But what if in the Navamsha, Sun is up here, exalted in the sign of Aries? Well, Sun is gaining strength, man. This is what politics is. This is all it is. Forget any yoga in the Parashara side. Just use the Jaimini side before you do anything else. That'll determine everything. And go read charts of politicians, whether you're from China, India, US, Canada, France. Read their chart, see Raj Yogas, see Ashtaka Varga, and you will get the story. That's it. This is my lesson. So again, if you don't know my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know how your Ashtaka Varga points are, and if you can be a politician, if you want to go in there, for that check out my link, astrologycares.com, and check out my report so you can see that, or my readings. Bye-bye.